The music stopped, so let's get on with it. This is the last one. I've lost track.
Yeah, it's the last one.
I think so. Great. I'm Jakob Bergman of Rambo Consultants. Rambo is the largest consulting engineering company in Scandinavia. We have 8,000 employees in Scandinavia, United Kingdom, Dubai, other interesting locations. And I'm going to tell you about an urban development project here in Copenhagen called Nordhav. Nordhav means the North Harbor. Here's proper Copenhagen, and the center where we are is here. And a few kilometers to the north is this way. And here is Øresund, which is the sea between Denmark and Sweden. Is Nordhavn. The boundary of Nordhavn today is this line. So this is existing land, which is today port and industrial functions, a little industry, and quite large areas where there's actually nothing. It's just a landfill made for future use. This area doesn't exist today. It's landfill that would be constructed from earth and soil that is dug out from the metro construction in the town. Over the next 8 or 10 years, we're building a new metro line, which is 100% tunnel. So there will be an enormous amount of earth and dirt that's got to be put somewhere. And somebody found out why we put it in Øresund, and we can make urban development on it. So the city of Copenhagen is doing the planning, and the port authority of Copenhagen owns the area and is going to be the party that actually develops it and sells it. And these two parties made an international urban design competition 2 years ago. Rambo and 3 architectural companies won the competition, and we've been working during the last 1.5 years to make a sort of final plan that can sort of go on in the political system and be a proper regulation plan, plans for infrastructure, etc., to be integrated in the city of Copenhagen's plan. And as you can see here, the plan is that the area will have 40,000 inhabitants, 40,000 workplaces. There will be a cruise terminal. The existing cruise terminal is in the inner port where there's environmental problems, noise and traffic, that we can handle much better in the new area. And what I'm going to tell you now is how we think that by building all this infrastructure, very little of it exists today, so most of it is going to be built. How we think we can design it to make it more attractive to use the bike and public transportation, and less attractive to use the car. A very simplified diagram showing how we think we can do this. Direct connections for bicycles, because we know that bikers want to go the straight line from A to B, no detours. Direct lines for public transportation, because public transportation has to make stops so that people can get on or off. And every time you make a stop, you lose time. You can gain that time by having a straight line. And cars will have to go in a more complicated and just to make car drivers' life a little more difficult. The philosophy of this project is not that you shouldn't have a car. The philosophy is that if you want to have a car, please have a car. And you can use it if you're going to kjer to buy a sofa, or if you're going to visit your family in the other end of the country or on holiday, please use the car. But when you're going to your job, when you're going to school, when you're going to put your children in kindergarten, when you're going to see a concert in the city of Copenhagen, when you're going to sports or anything, use the bicycle, use the public transportation. We will make these more attractive for you. So it's not as much punishing the car drivers as making the other two more attractive and interesting. And one of the main concepts is what we call the loop. The loop is the main street of the new neighborhood, and it's a main street that contains no cars, but contains bicycles, pedestrians, and public transportation, which in the first many years will be buses and eventually a metro. And the reason for the loop shape, not just one one line. The city of Copenhagen suggested just one metro line going through the middle of the area. And we could see that if we did it like that, the distances would be too large from the outer parts. These circles are 400 meter circles, which corresponds to 5 minutes of walking. And you can see with this system we can cover most of the area with only 5 minutes walk to the metro stations. So we had to make two lines, and the logical solution would be to make them meet at the end. So that's the reason for the loop. Now here's a detailed of a close-up of the loop. This main street, the bus street, and the super bicycle path. As you can see, the bicycle path is the same width as the bus street, 8 meters. In Denmark, a bicycle path for two directions would usually be 3 or 4 meters. So this is double size. And the reason for that, there are two reasons. Our calculations show that in 50 years there will be 20,000 bikers on the inner stretches where they are closest to the rest of Copenhagen. And that you can't have 20,000 bicycles on a traditional narrow bicycle track. And the other advantage is that we can make what is in effect a 4-lane bicycle highway. Because one of the things that's annoying when you are riding your bicycle is that bikers have very different speeds. You run at full speed on your Tour de France bicycle, and some old granny or children are in front of you and hampering your progress. No problem here, you just use what we call the fast lane, and hopefully granny will be in the comfort lane, and you just overtake. Another thing that's annoying when you're riding your bike in an urban setting is that you meet intersections where you have to yield, or you meet a red light because there's a signal. Every time we intersect the street, we will have one of two solutions. This solution shows what's the same, the Dutch solution, where the car traffic yields to the bicycle traffic. But there will be intersection where there's more car traffic, so it will be impractical. There we will have signals. The signals will be prioritized to the bike. Either we will have a green wave for the bike, or we will have detectors in the bicycle path showing that if we have a large flow of bicycles, the lights will turn green. Just a vision of future in this loop. This is could be in one of the outer parts where there's a much park or recreational like area with much green. We have bicycles one direction, bicycles the other direction. Here divided in the green area, the metro, pedestrians, no cars. In the inner stretches, you would have a much more urban look, it would be like a street, but not a traditional street, but a street focused on the movement of pedestrians, cyclists, and public transportation. Okay. Any questions?
What's this?
It's a metro. Yeah. We decided very early at the planning. Actually, the city wanted a metro in a tunnel. But we have suggested, and they have accepted, that we make the metro in the air, because it's cheaper, so we can build the same stretch of the longer stretch of metro at the same cost as tunnel. But we also think that it has a sort of psychological value that the sustainable transportation modes are visible and not underground.
What about cycling infrastructure on other streets?
Yeah.
On the car streets?
We know that the cyclists, as I said, they want to go the direct route. So if you're going from here to here, you will not go to the loop and like this. You want to go like this. So on all the major streets, major car streets, we will have the more traditional cycle tracks in each side, and we will have supplementary cycle routes in the recreational areas, and then in local streets there will be the shared space concept. So cycles will share the area with cars and pedestrians. So they will not be able to, in this area, to go at full speed. So the main thing is that you can go quickly from your home a short span in a shared space and then reach the super bicycle, the path, and then full speed to where you're going. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Super prezentacija. Tako delajo to v Kobenhavnu za mesto po dveh Blaž.